Hello, gentle ladies and men. Welcome to the Women Today show with Christine Amira. Happy New Year. I believe you're feeling fresh and inspired this new year because for us, we are so elated, so inspired like never before because a new year always carries new possibilities. So hop on this journey with us. As we start this year, we'd like to have a series of Africa's most powerful women, where we'll be exploring and sharing the stories, journeys, current efforts, and truths about some of the most influential and empowering women today. They chose to make an impact in people's lives. They chose to make an impact in their countries. They sacrificed a thing or two, and we are here for it. I shall be discussing women who have created a trail, sometimes a trail where there was no terrain. In business, public life, media, sports, politics, and science, we love to see it. We love to celebrate them. And hopefully through this, we can inspire more women like you and men like you to break the barriers, challenge the status quo, keep closing inequalities, and pioneer new avenues of wealth creation. I hope you learned something today. So let us do this in under 10 minutes. The first woman we're going to celebrate this day is Folorunso Alakija. From a secretary to being Nigeria's richest woman, Mrs. Alakija is one of the only 2 female billionaires from Africa with a net value of $1 billion US. Now I have your attention. So it's safe to say that she's Nigeria's richest woman. She's an all magnate, a wife and a mother of 4 sons, wearing so many hats. She's the executive vice chair FAMFA Oil, an offshore crude oil exploration and production company. She's the managing director, Rose of Sharon Group, which made a name for herself by catering to West Africa's elite women. And now the company has since transitioned as a hub for not only fashion, but also printing and real estate. She's also the founder of the Rose of Sharon Foundation, which has a focus of empowering women, widows, and orphans. Mrs. Alakija is a Christian minister as well. She started the Rose of Sharon Christian Ministry together with her husband. She's also a renowned author, having written books on marriage, spirituality, and her own autobiography, dubbed Growing with the Hands That Gives a Rose. Mrs. Alakija is also a philanthropist. She was a major sponsor of the Agbami Medical Engineering Professional Scholarship Scheme with over 1,000 beneficiaries. 2, she also donated 1 billion naira to a coalition against COVID, also called COVID, a private sector partnership with the federal government of Nigeria in the fight against COVID. 3, she is the founder of Flourish Africa for Women. So where does this woman get all this time? Wow. Okay, so what we know about her is that she's rich and famous at 70 years old. Her website has some of her latest pictures in red frame glasses, wearing colorful dresses, and a beautiful smile, depicting her vibrance and love for fashion and people. Well, I read her story, and what her picture does not tell today is the tenacity, the patience, the persistence, and the naysayers she had to ignore to reach where she is today. Okay, so first of all, it was a change path trajectory for her in her career to get to where she is today. How is that so? She was in the banking industry for 12 years before pursuing her passion in fashion. And while she had to go for further studies before coming back to Nigeria to participate in fashion contests, acquire a clientele of elite women from West Africa, and her most prominent client and very close friend was the former First Lady of Nigeria, Marianne Babangida. Her career in the fashion industry was doing so well. It was actually through her networks in the fashion industry that she started her career in the male-dominated oil and gas industry. When she got her light bulb moment in the oil and gas industry in the 90s, but actually this happened when a friend of her came to her with a request to use her connections among the elite group of clients to link a foreign company with the petroleum minister in lifting crude oil in Nigeria. So Miss Alakija was approached her friend and client, First Lady Babangida, who was then the plug-in in booking the appointment with the petroleum minister at the time. Talk about sisters supporting and lifting each other, right? So although the foreign investment deal did not work, that is where her eyes opened and she started looking for contracts and opportunities in Nigeria's oil and gas industry. One case, she was the first woman in the oil and gas industry to get a license. However, it was not an automatic pass to getting her license. She applied for a license 3 times, and for 3 years straight, she was told no several times, and sometimes she would have to wait for 4 to 6 months to get new appointments. Then also, to add to the waiting process, the ministers of petroleum changed twice each year. She would have to start her bidding over and over and over again. Another hurdle she had to go through was that she was allocated a deep offshore discovery known as the Agbami oil field in 1993, at a time when technology had not advanced to extracting crude oil 5,000 feet deep. And everyone did not want it because it would be too expensive to explore. Nobody knew the gold mine she had struck because now her company is in the billions. So it took another 3 years though before, when she got her license, she took another 3 years after getting her license to get technical partners. She first got her fair share of no's before Texaco invited her for a meeting. The negotiations took another 3 months, so much waiting. Another challenge she had to go through, she had a court case for 12 years against the government. So the story is that once the announcement of the major finds in Alakija block were made, they attracted the attention of the Nigerian government, who had initially assumed that the oil block was one of the worst due to its location. So the government snatched an initial 40% stake from Alakija, followed by another 10% stake, and continued taking it until leaving her with a meager 10% stake. But after 12 years of intense legal battle, the courts returned the 60% shareholding back to the family. 12 years. Well, this top businesswoman must have had so many sleepless nights and fought so many battles in her day. We celebrate Mrs. Alakija Folorunso. And once I listened to an interview where she used a passion expression, look at your fingers. They're not equal. Meaning that all of our five fingers in one hand have different sizes, shapes, and orientation. And all of them are unique. But these discrepancies make hands the crucial part of the body with the highest performance. There are many other key takeaways from the wife and the mother of 4. She says, if anything is worth doing, do it well. She also says, never take no for an answer. And says, be slow and steady to win the race. And also, giving up is not an option. That's it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Leave us a comment. Tell us one of the most powerful women in Africa that you know. And as you do so, take a minute to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment on our social media platforms. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.